you. Here's Joe Burrow, Bengals quarterback, who also spoke with reporters yesterday on the emotions that he experienced in those very tense and hectic and unprecedented moments.
Oh, man. It's, we tried to do all we could. We went over there and saw him and just tried to give, like you said, give as much support as you can in a situation like that. Nobody wanted to continue to play the game in a situation like that, and I know how everybody would be feeling in our locker room if it was one of our guys, and I know how we were feeling, and it was one of their guys. So it was a scary, emotional night. I think collectively, every single person that plays the game of football and has played has thought about something like that happening, and at the same time that you're thinking that it would never happen to you or to anybody that you know. And I think it was a big wake-up call for everybody that that's a possibility. It can happen, and it's part of the game. Unfortunately, I think there's nothing you can do about that hit. That hit happens on every play of every single game, and so that's the scary part about it.
It was Joe Burrow who provided one of the sound bites after Tua Tagovailoa suffered a serious concussion on that same field. He said, "We know what we signed up for," and he got dragged a little bit for that, but that's the reality, because you have to accept that in order to put the uniform on and step onto the field. And what he said at the end is why I think players throughout the league may have some hesitation, and their family members definitely will have trepidation about their loved one going back out on the field, because that hit happens all the time. This wasn't some rare, obvious, the old school Jack Tatum hit on Darryl Stingley where this is not going to end well. It was a standard routine moment in a football game that happens all the time. So now, already, and anybody out there that has a loved one that's played football at any level has experienced that feeling of sitting there watching the game with that gear turning in the back of your brain that's saying, on every snap, just kind of hold your breath to make sure that person down on the field is okay when this play's over. Every snap. And you kind of get used to it.
Yeah, right.
Right?
It's kind of part of the game. I think it adds to the adrenaline of the game and everything. Yeah.
It's but and I've made that long walk from the top of the bleachers down to the field with my son laying flat on his stomach, and you don't know what's wrong. You don't know why. You don't know what it is. Everything goes through your mind. You worry about having those moments and then finding out that it's something serious. The way this happened, it's let me give you an example here. I don't know if it fits or not, but it's kind of like, hey, we know when there are thunderclouds overhead, you can get hit by lightning if you go outside. We know that. So you don't go outside if it's a lightning storm and the lightning's striking. But if you're just walking down the street all day in a clear blue sky, just doing, and you get hit by lightning, what the hell? Where'd that come from? It's kind of like that. Like, this is standard routine football, and Damar Hamlin got struck by lightning. And so I think, as we talked about the issues and the concerns with players, not just on the Bills and Bengals, but any football players going out and playing, and their families, the concerns they're going to have, this just underscores it. It was a standard routine play, and you never know when it's going to happen again. And that's just another thing you have to worry about when you have a loved one who is playing football at any level.
Yeah, it's the beauty and the reality and the bad part and everything that's great about football. I mean, it is. I think it adds to the intrigue, knowing that, the injuries and how difficult the sport is and how physical it is, and it's dangerous. I mean, I think that was, growing up, I'm sitting there, oh, gosh, Dad made it. He threw it. Reggie hit him, but okay, he's okay. Oh, gosh, he made it. Charles Haley hit him, but he's okay. All right, this is great. This is great. This is great. Until, he's laying on the ground with a broken shoulder, and then you're going, oh, man, and your world crashes down. It's the odd thing about football. It's the odd thing about humans. We do a lot of things that are not safe for us on a daily basis. So that's the other thing that I think we got to keep in mind here too. And I do look at this a little bit as lightning strike. I mean, it is crazy with all the football that this has never happened before, but at the same time, it's something that, okay, maybe it's crazy it's never happened before, but it's like, okay, maybe it should have happened one time. I mean, it's not like something that I would expect to be happening, once a decade or anything like that. This is rare. I was explaining this to my kids last night a little bit because they were asking about it. I mean, damn, how many times did I get hit in the chest right in that area as I was throwing a football? And I think everybody in football could say that, whether you're a receiver, a quarterback, a running back, whatever. We've all been hit in that area. So that's where, too, Mike, I think at some point, and again, it's just so odd that it happened. I wonder if we'll ever get an answer if there was an issue there with Damar Hamlin, maybe pre-existing. And again, I'm not trying to be insensitive or anything like that. I'm just throwing out talk, and it's just that's how weird or rare it is to see this type of thing happen with that routine of a hit that we see in football, like Joe Burrow was saying, almost every other play.
Well, it was the NFL's chief medical officer, Dr. Alan Sills, who brought up commotio cordis yesterday, mentioned that there's been discussion about it. The NFL doesn't have a specific cause yet, but based upon what transpired, the experts who are familiar with the condition, It is a rare occurrence, but it does happen. And again, I first became aware of it with youth baseball, third baseman line drive in the chest, and every year there are children who go into cardiac arrest and die, in large part because people didn't know, what's going on? We don't know what's happening. And now with the prevalence of the AEDs and people who know CPR, and again, someone's life hopefully will be saved by what's happened here. Some little kid in Wichita, Kansas, will get hit in the chest with a line drive in April, and there will be adults present who know exactly what to do because of this. So if there's any good to come from this, beyond the $7 million that's been raised for underprivileged children in McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, and the surrounding areas in Pittsburgh, there will be a greater sensitivity to this condition and greater measures taken, as you said earlier. All sports organizations, whatever level, the governing bodies need to have these conversations. We have to have an AED. They're not that expensive. So it's got to be somebody in the community that can write the check for the AEDs that are necessary to be present at these games. Let's make sure people are certified in CPR. Let's have this in place. But, Chris, there's not going to be a bright line back to it. And maybe there will be. Maybe the quotes that come out in the aftermath of someone's life being saved will be, I knew about this condition because of what happened to Damar Hamlin. So, again, if there's any good in any way, shape, or form to come from this, there is a chance that one or more lives will be saved in the future by increased sensitivity to this extremely rare condition that, even though it's rare, it happens.
Hopefully, yeah. Then hopefully that's the silver lining. This incident saves a lot of people, and or just makes everybody more prepared in case it does happen, that we're all over it, certainly. And we'll see where it goes. It's just it's a crazy situation. It really is.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.